Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games, the Weekend Games. It's been almost a month since the last Weekend Games. I did not realize how quickly time both went by quickly and not really that quickly at all. Funny story. A couple weeks ago, my wife was out mowing the lawn. Before you say anything, in my wife and I's world, basically, whoever has time picks up whatever there is to do. We share things all over the map, people. But she was mowing the lawn, and I came home, and I saw she was just having a heck of a time. She was pushing on it, and just out of breath, and just like, what the heck? What's up with that? Like, why is the lawnmower so difficult? And I walk over, and I'm like, how's it going? She's like, the grass is so long. It's just rough. And I'm like, well, what about the handle on the lawnmower? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, lift up the handle, and she just shoots off, flying across, mowing the lawn effortlessly. She didn't know that the lawn was self-powered. Lawnmower is self-powered. So I laughed and laughed. She did not. So move forward a couple weeks, and I'm doing my usual thing. I'm going through all the videos on Harebrained Games channel, and friend's over, and he's looking over. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm going through all the videos to see if anybody's left comments, because I mean, one of the advantages of having a small, nice, tight-knit group of people is you can go through and like answer people and talk to them. And he's like, so you're going through every video? I'm like, yeah, I'll just, I mean, it's grown a lot, so I don't want to miss anything from way back whenever. He's like, there's a button, right? He like looks over, and he's like, you click that and you can see all of it at once, right? And he laughed and laughed, and I did not. But now I realize that I can get to comments much more quickly on YouTube, because apparently I missed the big red button that was right in front of my eyes that said go to comments. So anyway, thank you for all of you who may have made comments in the past that I missed. I'm going to be probably a lot faster now than I was before. So that's my anecdotal story of the day. And now let's get to the news. All right, in news, Star Wars escape room game. This is an interesting juxtaposition of license and gaming style. I played a lot of escape room type games, and they're pleasant. I enjoy them. They're a one and done kind of thing. But Star Wars, I would highly suggest pre-ordering that so that you don't end up making a Wookiee mistake. In other news, Undaunted Normandy. Now we have Undaunted North Africa, and next year we're going to have for solo players something exciting, Undaunted Reinforcements, which is going to overlay both the original games with different rules and ideas and solo play from one of the great masters of solo play creation, David Chertsey himself. So looking forward to that. Viticulture has been released on digital format. You can get it on Steam right now. It's about $15 or so. It looks like a very good rendering of gaming goodness. So I mean, it looks like a serviceable, decent app so far. I haven't played it enough to really give a full review on it, but I think it's definitely worth the price point I paid. And finally, Stonemaier Games, speaking of viticulture, is going to be releasing a game called Pendulum. In early August, they're going to start taking pre-orders. This is a 1 to 5 worker placement time optimization asymmetric game. What does that mean? I don't know. The last game I bought from them was Tapestry, which was fun to look at, but didn't quite have the staying power I'd hoped. So we'll see if the pendulum swings in the other directions. We'll see. And with that, let's get to my question of the week. My question isn't for me, it's for you guys. But it is kind of about a reflection of myself and my wife. It's what kind of gamer am I? During this time in quarantine, it has become even more acute that my wife and I are very, very different in the way that we handle board games. My wife is much more casual than I. But I realized that I have, and this is true of a lot of different things, I sort of compartmentalize people into two groups of style. Whether they're the only groups is irrelevant, but it's basically the two groups or mentalities of board gaming that my wife and I are absolute opposites of. It's the pioneer or the settler. The pioneer and the settler. Uh, my wife is a settler. What I mean by that is if she finds a game she likes, she's going to play it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. She's going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun. She doesn't like all games. Matter of fact, she's extremely picky about what game she likes. But when she finds one, she settles into that game and she plays that game. So she's a settler. I, on the other hand, am a pioneer. I am never okay staying with one game too long. I am always enjoying the moment, enjoying the game, and then saying, that's awesome, what's next? And it's true, whether it's board gaming, whether it's a whole bunch of things. It's like pioneers or settlers. Both are required. You know, you need a pioneer to blaze the trail and find the good stuff. And then along come the settlers going, I'm fine here. I'm good. There's a stream, there's water, there's, splendor, there's... or Cat Lady, which was the last one, or whatever, I'm fine staying here playing, in this land for hundreds and hundreds of times, whereas I have to go see what's over the next mountain. So what kind of gamer are you? Are you a pioneer or a settler? Are you kind of in the middle? I don't know, but that's my question of the week, and it's more of a ponder point than it is a question. But on to my 3 games. I haven't played any of the Sushi Go's, but I'm about to. This was one of those, if I buy something for $7 more, I get free shipping. So I decided to give it a whirl. We'll see if the pick and pass card game for a guy who doesn't like sushi is amenable to my tastes, be it sushi or not. Cosmic Encounter Duel. Now, of course, who doesn't love a good game of Cosmic Encounter? It is wacky, zany, crazy, over-the-top, rule-breaking fun. Cosmic Encounter Duel is interesting. I don't always find that the games that go from multiplayers down to a duel kind of thing have always worked well. They've usually been okay. I am curious about this. I haven't played it full on through, so I can't give thoughts yet, but I can say that reading the rules and looking at the parts, it does stay true to the spirit of Cosmic Encounter. And finally, as aforementioned, Undaunted North Africa. David Thompson is one of the few designers. He has the auspicious title of being the only person I have bought 2 copies of his Undaunted games for. Why? Because I've always pre-ordered them, and then they come out on Amazon, and for some reason, I just can't wait. The first one, Undaunted Normandy, I was about to go on a road trip, and I really wanted to take this game with me to play in the hotel room, so I ended up buying it off of Amazon 2 days and getting it, and then getting a second copy. Same thing. Except this time, I don't even have that excuse. I just wanted it. It was at Amazon, next day shipping. Seriously. And I'd pre-ordered my copy from Miniature Market, so I guess I'm going to get 2 copies of this too. Too bad I can't combine them to get extra Undauntment. Either way, I'm looking forward to trying out these games, and hopefully some of them might even wind up in a review somewhere down the road. And that's 3 games. Now it's time for Alphabet Soup. All right, we're on the letter U. We are almost done with the alphabet. Can you imagine? Can you? Let's go. Top of the line. This is going to sound very, very much like the last segment. Undaunted Normandy is my favorite. It absolutely is my favorite. I love the simplicity. I love the way it distills wargaming down to something I could teach darn near anybody. It's great. Some people think it's too simplified. I don't. I would almost have included Undaunted North Africa, but I haven't had a chance to really give it a whirl yet. I like the rules changes. I think it's a little more exciting. It may wind up eclipsing Undaunted Normandy, but both are going to be in the same category as top-of-the-line games, I'm pretty sure. Bottom of the barrel, Uchronia. This was on the heels of Glory to Rome, which was this crazy game where you could use a card in 4 different ways, or several different ways anyway, and I thought that was awesome, so I picked up Uchronia because it was the sort of quasi-spiritual successor-ish thing. It was not. It was Doldrum City. Came out of nowhere. Unicornus Knights. Imagine setting up, for a ton of time, setting up a big board that has a bunch of tiles, all of which are unique, with unique characters, unique rules, everything. And your job is to stop a princess from blazing her way into sure destruction, but you can't stop her. You can't even hope to contain her. You have to blaze away and get rid of the stuff around her to make sure she can get to the other side of the map and avenge her father's death. Really crazy, really cool, darn inexpensive, way out of nowhere, big hit. Riches to Rags, and I have to say this of sadness is Unfair. Unfair was one of the best Kickstarter experiences. It had the most honest, like hardworking, really smart, really wise people running this campaign who went the extra mile and self-sacrificed to get this game. It has beautiful artwork, beautifully stylistic. All the components are top-notch as delivered. And then we played the game and it just dived. It was not even close to interesting for people. They really wanted what the box art felt like it was going to be, and it ended up not being that. So I wish it wasn't. I hope people like it because I really like this company and I hope they do other games. It just went, yeah, it was, not good. Rags to Riches, U.S. Civil War, a GMT game, started off being an okay-ish game. I was looking for a Civil War kind of vibe and whatever. And over time, though, it has grown and grown into one of the most, it is grown into a profound reenactment of the Civil War. Its rules and how it works is not entirely standardized. It has some unique things about it that aren't in other games, and it's gorgeous beyond belief. So, Meaty Mighty Manwich, Unconditional Surrender. This is a game that doesn't have a bazillion tokens or pieces or chits that laying out across the board, but it has a bunch of really intricate, detailed scenarios for fighting across, fighting wars in the World War II theater in Europe, and doing so in a way that doesn't require more than just a handful of units, and yet still being really compelling. Like you're really, it has to be played to be understood. It's very different and very likable once you understand. It's been described as one of the easiest. I don't think that I found it easy, obviously, because it's the Meaty Mighty Manwich category, but I do think it was well worthy of attention. But it is something you're going to want to read and really understand before getting into. Test of Time, Ultimate Warriors. Those who played King of Tokyo know that there's a fun little romp of, hey, I'm King of the Mountain. Bam, no, you're not. Ultimate Warriors is even simpler than King of Tokyo. And it's also a blast. It is the ultimate combat gladiator. Throw your guys into the ring, slap them down, punch, kick, fight, whatever, and leave one standing. It's really unsung. There isn't a lot of vibe for it. I don't think it's very well known. The box is kind of the arena, so it repurposes components really well. But what a blast. What a blast. That one stood the test of time. I bring that out a lot of times when I got teenagers or whatever over, and they just want kind of a slap you around kind of romp. Comeback Tour. Upon a Fable has is just humor beyond measure. Dragons drinking tea kind of humor. And I would love to see it make a comeback. I would love to see another game in that universe because it is so delightful, so quirky with its artwork. The game was great. Definitely. Let's get more Upon a Fable than we had before. Honorable mentions, Theme. This almost was my top-of-the-line game. It would have been second place, and it's Underwater Cities, particularly with the expansion pack, which has a lot of extra goodies, but most importantly, it has really nice boards for laying out your underwater city. Very nice artwork. I really have to say unfair. I really wish I'd liked the game because the artwork is top-notch and just they really looked at the sort of carnival vibe, the fair vibe, and they really made the artwork match what you'd hope for. So, and that's it. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.